everyone, it is Bridget here from Bridget's Kitchen. Hi. I just had a little message saying it was not that strong, but we are back, and the Wi-Fi signal has popped into gear, which is great. It is Bridget here from Bridget's Kitchen, wishing you a very happy start to the week. It is Monday evening here in Sydney, and with Monday evening comes, just sort of getting over the weekend, and there was we had a bit of a birthday party yesterday, so we had a really wonderful weekend, and I potentially have consumed more food than what I would normally consume just because we had a bit of a celebration, as it does happen sometimes on the weekends. And leading up to Christmas, I'm really kind of thinking about how I can stay on track throughout the holidays, and make sure that I'm still eating really well and enjoying what I'm eating, but also sharing with you guys lots of really exciting things that can keep us on track. So bearing that in mind, very excitingly, I am working on a brand new Christmas festive recipe e-cookbook. I have 50 recipes in there that are perfect for the holidays, or perfect for your Christmas table, or your Boxing Day table, or your Christmas Eve table, or whenever it is. So the recipes is 50 in there. Of course, there's lots of treats like trifle and pavlova and all those things that are gluten-free, sugar-free, dairy-free. Plus, I give you an idea of what you can do with snacks and party food and different types of dips and sauces, and then of course ham, turkey, salmon, prawns, all those marvelous things that are going to make sure that we stay on track this Christmas. So bearing that in mind, keep an eye on Bridget's Kitchen. We'll be releasing that ebook as soon as it's been designed. I've spent the entire day here in my kitchen cooking lots and lots of really cool stuff, making lots of treats for us. You can kind of see behind me, it is literally, that's been me today. It's a bit cleaner than it was half an hour ago, I have to tell you. There was stuff everywhere. Dishes piled up to the ceiling almost, but that's what it's like on the day that I spend in the kitchen testing lots of wonderful recipes. And because we have this new ebook coming out, and I'm calling it, actually I don't know what I'm calling it yet. Last year I called it We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Oh, sorry, We Wish You a Healthy Christmas. It'll be something along those lines, because every recipe, all 50 of these festive recipes, are going to be free of sugar, dairy, gluten, and a lot of them as well are going to be perfect for your gut health and maintaining your journey if you're on a weight loss journey or just want to keep your health up as well. So really excited about that ebook. Keep an eye on Bridget's Kitchen, keep an eye on our private page as well. I will let you guys know as soon as that has gone live, because it's going to be a fabulous one. But for tonight, I thought I would teach you guys a little quick quick dinner recipe, something really fabulous. And it's one of those recipes that doesn't require a lot of ingredients, which is really nice, and you can make it into whatever you want it to be. So essentially it is a cabbage omelette, which may not sound that tempting if you think about it, but this omelette is actually a Japanese style omelette known as Okonomiyaki. Now Okonomiyaki is fabulous. If you've ever been to a Japanese restaurant and you've had one of these, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. It is delicious. It tends to be quite high in oil. It does tend to be quite a lot of gluten in there as well, and they do throw a bit of sugar in. So I've taken all those things out. I've completely taken the gluten out, and I've simplified this Japanese style cabbage omelette. I'm going to give you the base recipe, and then of course you guys can go ahead and make it into whatever you want to make it into. So you can add chicken, you can add prawns, you could keep it completely vegetarian. It is totally up to you. I'm going to give you the base. You can then create whatever you want from it. So it's simple to do, as I was saying, and as far as what I reckon, it's literally dinner in 15 minutes, which is always a good thing, right? It's always a great thing. Okay, so come on down to my bench. I'll show you what I've got here. And once again, this is one of those recipes that I haven't yet written it up. You guys are seeing it for the first time here right now. So if you want to follow along, or you want to create this for yourself, good idea to go and get a pen and paper now, so you can take down some notes of how to make this amazing Japanese style cabbage omelette, or okonomiyaki. So the first thing you need is cabbage, of course. Cabbage is really important when you're making a cabbage omelette. I'm using white cabbage, but there is nothing stopping you from using a mixture of white or red or Chinese cabbage. That is completely up to you. And what we want to do first and foremost is we want to shred the cabbage, and we want to cut it quite thinly. So you can do that with a really sharp knife like I'm doing here. And we want about 250 grams of cabbage once it's shredded. And if you think about that, that is actually quite a lot of cabbage to eat, 250 grams, but not when it's in this omelette. It is literally so simple to eat. When you're putting it into this omelette, you wouldn't even think that you have just consumed 250 grams of cabbage. So I am going to weigh it off just so you guys get a bit of an idea of what 250 grams of cabbage looks like. So right now that's 130. And like I said, you could use any type of cabbage here. Savoy cabbage is fine, Chinese cabbage, completely up to you. You know, white cabbage at the moment here in Australia is at a pretty good price. So it's a good time to get something like this into your diet. And it is a nice alternative to just sort of having coleslaw if you have been putting a bit of cabbage into your diet. I think this is a really nice way to mix it up a bit, but also do it really quickly. So we're nearly at 250. So I'm just thinking, if you imagine you're eating that as a coleslaw, that is a lot of cabbage, right? That's heaps. You'd be like, yeah, nah, that's not going to happen. That is quite a decent amount of cabbage. That's 250 grams. So this is for one portion, by the way. So if you're making it for two people, obviously you increase that to 500 grams. But for one person, it's 250 grams per person. So that's the first thing we're going to do. You can also do something like add a bit of leek if you have some leek, or you could add spring onions. And it's just a small amount. This is just gonna give the omelette, like, it's just a little bit of a flavor, different flavor. So I'm just adding a little piece of leek. You can totally do that, or you could add a couple of bits of spring onion cut really thin like I'm doing as well. And I'm trying to keep everything as evenly sliced as possible, because then it's going to cook all at the same time, which is really important. So we're going to give that just a bit of a toss through. You could also, if you didn't want to add leek or spring onion, you could even grate a bit of zucchini into that. Not too much, because zucchini is quite wet, but I'll take maybe half a zucchini and you can grate that in there. But this is the base. Remember, it's a cabbage omelette. The next thing I want to add is a little bit more flavor to this mix here. So in my little damp tea towel, which is where I keep all my fresh herbs, I have my coriander, cilantro as it's also known, and I have some mint. But today I actually want to use the stalks of the coriander there. If you do not like coriander, you could swap this out for some fresh chives. But I'm adding the stalks as opposed to adding the leaves, because these are a lot more robust and they hold up to temperature a lot better than the leaves do. And because we're going to be cooking this, I don't want to ruin those beautiful leaves. So I'm just going to add about a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of the chopped coriander stalks, or cilantro stalks. Like I said, if you don't like coriander, and I know there's a lot of people who don't like coriander. And hello, by the way, to everyone who's joining us, to Ashley. Hi, Ashley, and also to Kerry as well. Thank you for joining, ladies. So we're going to give that a bit of a mix through, just roughly. And now we're going to cook it. So over here, come over here. Come down here. I'm just going to move this little, whoa, bringing you on down. Whoops, 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 whoops. Here we go. So you guys can see what's happening down here. We are going to start to cook it, the cabbage. I've got a non-stick wok here, and I'm going to turn that non-stick wok on to about medium heat. About medium heat. And that is going to, while that's heating up, what have I done with it? What's over here? There it is. While that's heating up, I'm going to throw in a tablespoon of my sticky sauce. This tablespoon of the sticky sauce is going to go in there. Let that heat up. Medium, just above medium, medium to high. But it all depends on how hot your cooktop gets. My one gets pretty hot, so I'm going to do everything kind of on medium. And now that that is heated up, probably, yeah, pretty good. Have a bit of a throw in, yeah. We haven't got much of a sizzle happening, but that's alright. Oh, here we go. The sizzle starts. Add all the cabbage in. And all those wonderful bits of herb go in there as well. Everything's on the other side of the kitchen today because that's where I was cooking. Okay, a little bit of salt. A little bit of salt goes in there. A little bit of black pepper as well. And what we're doing here essentially to our cabbage is we're just giving it time to cook, and it's just going to start to wilt in the pan and we're going to get it just cooked. I don't want to overcook it, I just want it to be just cooked. So it's all wilted down. This probably take a couple of minutes for that stage to happen. A couple of minutes. But as you're doing this, you can start getting the next stage ready. So back to my little bowl here, my little bowl. I'm going to add in the egg component. So 2 whole eggs are going to get broken into our bowl. 2 whole eggs. I'm also going to add in, this is my ground wakame. You guys know how much I like seaweed. This is ground wakame. This is going to give it the most amazing taste. And of course, wakame is really, really good for regulating our thyroid. So it really does help when it comes to weight loss, would you believe it? It really does help, because once our metabolism is running really well, it is easier for us to lose weight because we're burning it a lot faster. So that's what wakame is good for. And if you're wondering about what wakame is, it is a type of seaweed, and I grind it up in a little spice grinder, and I get almost like a seaweed salt, which is just so fabulous. It's just absolutely awesome. And that wakame I get from my Asian supermarket. It's usually in the Japanese section. Let's have a little look what's happening here. Well, it's looking good. So that little wilt that's happening now, that 250 grams just went and kind of shrunk, right? And now it almost looks reasonable. Like you're like, oh yeah, I could eat that. As opposed to when it's raw and it's all just like huge. Because what's happening when this cabbage is cooking? As you can see, that steam that's coming off it, that is the moisture evaporating out of the cabbage. So that's the natural moisture that's locked into those cabbage leaves. And as we're cooking it, it starts to shrink because we're evaporating off the steam, and the moisture is coming out. So not only are we making it more manageable to eat, but the other thing that we're doing is we're also making it more flavoursome, because as we evaporate the moisture from the cabbage, because water doesn't have much flavour, right? But when you evaporate that out, you're just left with more of the cabbage flavour. So that's why it tastes better when it's a little bit cooked. And that's about it. I'm pretty happy with where it's at now. And what you would normally do, what you should do, is we don't want to put it straight into the eggs. We want to give it a little bit of time to cool down. So I'm just going to put that into a little bowl, just like that. Whoop. Put it into a little bowl. Put that back on there. I made a bit of a mess, but that's alright. Put it into a little bowl, and we're just going to let that cool down just for a couple of minutes. Just for a couple of minutes. While that is cooling down, I'm actually going to clean out the rest of that. Don't want to waste anything, right? Got my little spatula. Clean out the rest of that cabbage. And we're going to actually use this again, so I'm just going to give it a bit of a wipe out. Let's see. It's beeping, I know. Alright, that's going back on the heat now. So our cabbage is cooling down, but because I don't want you guys to wait for the cabbage to cool down, here's one I prepared earlier. But I use a bit of purple and white cabbage in this one, which you totally can do. So this one is completely cool. Well, you know, you don't have to wait 5 minutes with your cabbage, but that's long enough that we're able to do this. So the cold or the cooled cabbage goes into our egg mixture. We're just going to give it a little bit of a stir through, and a bit of a mix. This now is definitely going to go into medium heat. I don't want it to get too hot when I'm cooking the egg. And then I'm going to take up just a little bit, just a little tiny bit of melted coconut oil, and I'm going to brush it on to the pan. The best way to apply your oil is with a brush, because you only add a little bit. If I was just to tip it in, I would be adding way too much. But you can see just with that small amount, it's probably not even a teaspoon of oil in here. That's all you want. A little bit of coconut oil. Give it a good mix around with your little pastry brush there. And then we can just go ahead and put our little cabbage mixture in. Flatten it out. This little non-stick pan is perfect because you get the perfect little circle of omelette. If you don't have one like this, you could just put it into a normal frying pan. But remember to just do all of this on medium heat. You don't want it too hot because you don't want the egg to burn too quickly. Okay, I'm going to move on to a little spatula now. And I'm just using my spatula just to bring the egg forward because I really want a nice little circle with my omelette. I want a lovely little circle. I'm just going to bring that forward there. A little bit more, where have I got it? There it is, a little bit more pepper. I do like a bit of pepper. Touch more salt. And then the next trick to this omelette is grab yourself a lid. That goes on there, and we're going to very gently, remember this is done on medium heat, we're going to gently cook that mixture in there for about 3 minutes. About 3 minutes is all it needs on that side. So while that's cooking, I want to show you guys the accompaniments that you could potentially put with your little delicious Japanese omelette. Now once again, completely up to you how you go about this. But normally these types of omelettes are done with something called bonito flakes. So the Japanese love bonito flakes. Oh, here's my little packet here. These are like little dried pieces of fish. And if you're going, what? They're delicious. Bonito flakes are delicious. That's all that is. This is just dried fish flakes. And some might say goldfish food, reminiscent of goldfish food, but it's like seriously, it's fabulous. It is so delicious. So you could go to your Asian supermarket if you want to and see if you can get hold of some pre-shaved bonito flakes like I have here in my packet. And they do taste, if you do like Japanese food, you would have had bonito flakes in so many different things because they do use it as a base to make really flavoursome soups and broths and things like that as well. But they also go onto, quite traditionally, they go onto Okonomiyaki, which is the Japanese omelette. Or if you've ever had those octopus balls, takoyaki, you'll also find that you get shaved bonito on your takoyaki as well. So you could add those to the top of it if you want to. You could at this point, right now, cut up some sliced prawns and put them in there as well. You can have like a prawn omelette. Or if you've got some cooked chicken, you could sprinkle a bit of chicken on there. It really is completely up to you. As I was saying, this is just the base that I'm giving you, and then you can create whatever you want from it. It is one of those amazing, simple recipes that don't require much effort, and the result is really fabulous. So come down here, just so you can sort of see what's happening. I'm not sure if you can see this, if we've got a bit of colour happening there. All I'm doing is just going around with my little spatula and just kind of releasing it around there. I don't want it to stick, obviously. Just releasing it a little bit. This is always the nerve-wracking part. Will it come off? Oh yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks like it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to probably leave that on there just for, turn it down, maybe another 20 seconds just to make sure that it's nice and firm. The lid is really important here as well. The lid is really, really important because what's happening is you're not only getting heat from the bottom, so it's cooking the omelette from the bottom, but you're also making almost like an oven environment here. So you're cooking it all around. If I didn't cook with the lid, this top half would be pretty raw, but we want that omelette to cook right through the middle, and the lid's going to help us to create that little oven environment so we've got more heat coming from everywhere and not just from the bottom. So lid's really important when it comes to this one. Alright, it's time to flip. Oh, nervous. Alright, flipping is always is definitely the part that is concerning, but you can see it's coming off, right? You can see that it's actually coming off really, really well. So I could be real sneaky and I could flip it and try and catch it, but I'm not going to because I'm too scared right now. So I'm actually going to use my spatula, and this is my favourite spatula, it's a bendy one. I'm going to use my spatula to do this because I think it's probably a wise idea. Are you ready? Alright. Not bad, not bad. There we go. There was the flip. Hey look, if yours breaks up a little bit, don't worry about it. Breaking up is fine. Hey, what happened? This won't work now. Come on now. It's playing up. Oh, there we go. If yours does break on you, don't worry about it, because at the end of the day, which is when you sit down and eat it, it's going to be covered with gorgeous stuff anyway, so don't worry about that. So once again, lid goes back on. It's just on medium heat. In fact, I turn it down to just below medium because you can see we've got really good colour happening on there already. It's pretty cooked, probably just over midway now, so I just want to finish it off and get that, what was the top, which is now the bottom, get that part cooked as well. And while that is cooking, once again, we can think about the what we're going to be putting with our cabbage omelette. So remember bonito flakes, delicious. If you like that sort of thing, delicious. But if you're not that way inclined, don't have to do it, right? But if you are, totally do it. It's amazing. And these are really good to have just around the cupboard because they really do add flavour to so many things. You can just sprinkle this through salad and you get a really, really, really nice salad with bonito flakes. It's fabulous. So that's one of the toppings. The other topping that I'm going to be doing for you guys today is where? Here it is. Now this is a sauce that I have just made, and it is a combination of sauces. One of the sauces combination, it's a combination of 3 sauces actually. One of the sauces is in my book, and it is my roasted tomato sauce. Now I know a lot of you guys have been attempting the roasted tomato sauce lately because tomatoes are totally fully in season, so it is the best time to make that. So that is part of the sauce. There's a couple tablespoons of my roasted tomato sauce in there. I have also added to it a couple of tablespoons, I know you can't see that, but this is coconut aminos. So coconut aminos is, a lot of people who don't like tamari or don't like soy, this is a replacement that they use because it's soy free, but it's kind of similar to tamari. It's a little bit sweeter because it's made from coconut nectar. So I have a couple tablespoons of coconut aminos, a couple tablespoons of my tomato sauce in there as well. And yes, you have to use my tomato sauce because my one is sugar free, of course, and everything here is sugar free. So that is in there quite nicely. And the last thing I put in there is just a little bit of fiber syrup, just once again for sweetness. It's got a couple teaspoons of, or just a teaspoon of fiber syrup is in here. I whizzed it up in a blender, and what I've got is quite similar to the sauce that you will find if you ever went to a Japanese restaurant and ordered an Okonomiyaki. You would get this amazing sauce on top of it. This is my healthy version of that sauce, and by the way, it is phenomenal. If you have already got my tomato sauce in the fridge, like seriously, make yourself some of this sauce. It is delicious and it goes on so many different things. It's amazing. So that is the sauce that I have created there. I reckon this should be about ready. Let's have a little look what's happening down here now. So we've got a bit of steam coming up. Ah, I love it. Perfect, just what we want. That bit of steam. It sounded like it's frying away there like crazy, which is also very good. I'm just going to use this one just to pull it away from the pan, only because I don't want to scrape my non-stick pan. It is looking pretty marvellous. How good is that? It doesn't take long at all, right? That's pretty quick. Alright, so let us now clean down, have a nice tidy bench. Nice tidy bench. Let us now plate up. So I have my blue plate today. There you go, now you guys can see. And then just taking the omelette and then straight down onto the plate it goes. Remember, there's 250 grams of cabbage in there, and it's just this beautiful, beautiful omelette. It's amazing. So remember that sauce I was talking about? Let's go with that first. So this is my version of the sauce they serve on this typical Japanese pancake. And what you want to do is just want to kind of dribble it across. Nice big dribbles of this wonderful sauce goes on. Look, you don't have to do the sauce if you don't have the tomato sauce, but trust me, if you do, this is really going to elevate this pancake into some seriously amazing flavor sensations. Now the other sauce that I'm adding it today is also in the book, and this sauce is my dairy-free garlic and lemon aioli. So it's dairy-free, it's also oil-free as well. So this is going to get drizzled. Look at that now, alright? Woohoo! For anyone who's ever had one of these pancakes, you're like, oh my gosh, it's really starting to look like the pancake you'd get at the Japanese restaurant. Alright, so that is my, yes, this is my oil-free, sugar-free, dairy-free lemon and garlic sauce, which is just amazing, and that's going to go on top as well. Once again, you can add this or not, but the recipe for my tomato sauce and the recipe for this white sauce that I've just put on here, which is like it's basically like my lemon and garlic mayonnaise without having any oil or anything like that. They're both in the book more. So the next thing we're going to think about doing is adding, remember those bonito flakes? And bonito flakes are just going to elevate this even more, this amazing pancake even more for us, which is just exciting. I love it. And then I'm also going to add, because we can, remember that ground wakame? Fabulous little ground wakame is going to go on there too. Beautiful. This is going to help to give it even more flavor, and it's what it's all about. It's all about flavor. I'm going to go to the fridge because I forgot something else. Just hold that thought. Hold that thought for a second. Right, salad. We're just going to even give it even some more goody stuff. And I've just got a little bit of mesclun or mixed salad here. And there's every reason why we should be doing something like this, right? Just on top of it. Gorgeous. Looking wonderful. Let's not forget all those beautiful fresh herbs, which are also going to make this pancake absolutely delicious. So I've got some mint. I'm also going to add some coriander. But if you look at this, and if you could only smell what this is like, this is absolutely fabulous. So this is my very simple, very delicious, quick and easy cabbage omelette, Okonomiyaki, gluten-free, sugar-free, dairy-free. We've got two types of sauces on there. We've got bonito flakes, wakame, a little bit of salad. Feeling like this is going to be a really good dinner. Wouldn't you agree? Fabulous. But so simple. And I love these recipes that don't take long, right? They're not hard to do. Couple eggs, 250 grams of cabbage, some fresh herbs, and you could even forget about all the sauces if you don't currently have them in your fridge. Don't worry about them. If you do, my goodness me, it's going to be amazing. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget the sauces. If you want the recipes for the sauces, they are in the book, and the book is absolutely available for sale. If you want to get it before Christmas, you best get in real soon, because the postage gets completely clogged up as we get closer and closer to Christmas. So if you're wanting to get a copy of more before Christmas, I suggest you do it really soon to make sure it gets to you on time, or gets to your loved one on time. Morefrombridget.com is the website where you can order the copy of More. It's got all those gorgeous sauces in it, and do not forget what is going to be coming out very soon. I'm going to get back into testing with all the food behind me. What did I make today? My gosh, I made sponge cakes. I made healthy sponge cakes. Wait for it, healthy sponge cakes. Unbelievable. I made sponge cakes. I've got my list, my incredible list of stuff I did. I made a cauliflower dip. That was a request by one of you guys for a cauliflower dip. People want more dips. They want more better stick crackers and stuff into. So I've made a cauliflower dip. I've made sponge cake. I made lots of pickled vegetables. That's just for me because I like pickled vegetables. Cabbage omelette. That was on my list as well. Minced tarts. I have made minced tarts. I've made different types of pastries. I've made gingerbread waffles. I have also made a sticky date pudding that is gluten-free, sugar-free, and dairy-free. And I am currently in the process of making some gingerbread. Exciting, right? That ebook is coming out real soon. Keep an eye on Bridget's Kitchen. We will let you guys know the moment the designer is finished with it, and we can start sending it out to you. It is super exciting. I cannot wait. I do like Christmas. I really do. But in the meantime, enjoy your cabbage omelette, your okonomiyaki, and let me know how you go. I'd love to see some photos. Don't forget, join our group as well, Bridget's Healthy Kitchen Family, our private group. And did you guys know I have a YouTube channel? I have a YouTube channel, about 35,000 subscribers or something like that. If you want to watch some of these videos again, you just got to go to my YouTube channel. And my YouTube channel is called what? I can't remember. The Internet Chef?
Just Google
Bridget's Kitchen on YouTube. Bridget's Kitchen on YouTube. My gosh, I forgot all about. Yes, I've got 35,000 on YouTube. You can subscribe. You can watch all these videos over and over again. So we can all get healthy together. All right, guys. Great to have you joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. I hope the rest of the week is amazing as well. And I'll see you guys really soon with some more recipes. Take care. Bye-bye.